Whether you're a novice or an advanced macro developer, you'll most likely use or have used the macro recorder. It's a handy tool, especially for beginners, to easily automate a simple set of actions. But if you are determined to become more proficient with your macros, you should aim to gradually reduce your dependency on it. And in this video, I'll talk about why and give you some tips on how to go about that. Now, that's not to say it should be completely avoided, and in fact, it can be of value even to the more experienced developers. I use it occasionally if I've forgotten the exact syntax of some functions, or even some functions that I haven't used often or at all. Now, while it is a useful tool, it does have some limitations. Firstly, it is not designed for efficiency. Secondly, since it captures almost every mouse and keyboard input, it can generate unnecessary or unwanted lines of code. And thirdly, for the same reason, it can generate repeated or duplicate lines of code. And I'll go through a simple example to highlight these and how to improve on them. So we're going to record a macro, which basically is going to copy this data to this destination sheet. So I'm going to start off from this sheet, and while I'm recording the macro, I'm going to intentionally make some extra clicks or mistakes. So we go up to developer, we click record macro, and you can give it a name if you like. I'll call it copy source. All right, and then just click OK. So now I'm going to click on the source and select the data. Control C to copy, and you can see the ants around the range that I've copied. Select the destination and then paste it into B3. Right click, paste special, and select value and number formats. Click OK. Then right click again, paste special again, and select formats and OK. All right, go back to the source and remove the ant by hitting escape. I also want to copy the column widths. Select that range again, Control C, back to the destination, right click, paste special, and select column width and click OK. You can remove the ants, press escape. And finish off by going back to the destination sheet. Now we can stop the recording. Now, if you're serious about improving your macro skills, don't just record it and stop there. Use the output as a way to learn. So look at the generated code, try to understand what is going on, and see where you can improve on it. And over time, you should find yourself relying less and less on the recorder, and hopefully even develop your own coding style. Let's head over to the VBA editor, hold Alt and press F11. Now it should have created a module over to the left here. Mine's module 1, and in here you'll see the code that it's captured. Now the first thing I want to do is go through it and try and understand what's happening. So the first thing is it's selecting the source sheet. Then on that sheet, it's selecting the range B3 to F15. And then it is copying that selection. So that is the source. Now it's selecting the destination sheet. And on that sheet, we're selecting cell B3. And then the next line is doing a paste values and number formats from that selected range on the source sheet. The following line, it's pasting the formats from that source sheet. Because I intentionally forgot to copy the column widths, I went back to the source sheet and hit escape. I had to then reselect the range again and copy it again So then I could paste the column widths. If I hadn't cleared the ants, then I wouldn't need these lines of code. I wouldn't have to select it. I don't need to clear the ants. I don't need to reselect the range, and I don't need to copy it. I also don't need to go back to the destination. So we could delete this. So this is selecting the destination, selecting B3, and then pasting values and number formats, pasting formats, and pasting column widths. Then I went back to the source sheet, removed the ants, and finally I wanted to finish it up back on the destination sheet. Go back to our destination here, and I'm just going to delete what we've done. I'm going to run this from a button here. So let me assign this to the macro copy source. Right. So this should perform exactly the same, except we got rid of some of the unnecessary code and repeated code. All right. And there we have it. Let's go back to the code again, and let's see if we can improve on this. So from an efficiency point of view, what we don't really need to select the source sheet, select the range, and then copy the selected range. You can do this all in one line. And in this case, it doesn't matter so much, but if you had a loop, so I'm just going to declare a variable integer, and then just do a for I equals 1 to 100. Okay, come down. I'll end the loop here. So it's going to copy and paste that range 100 times. And each time, what it's going to do, not only copy the range, but it's going to keep selecting between them. Now that can become inefficient. If I run this, you're going to see it going back and forth 100 times. Right, now, for the more experience, you'll know that you can stop the flickering, at least, by doing an application dot screen updating equals false at the very beginning, and then set it back to true at the end. All right. However, it is still in behind the scenes selecting constantly between sheets. So if I run it now, you won't see it doing it. The ideal way to do this is prefix the range with the sheet to start with, right? So we don't need to select the sheet. So I'm going to take this and put it in front of the range. So this is called qualifying the range. So we're telling it which sheet the range belongs to. Otherwise, it defaults to the currently selected sheet. Right. On top of that, we don't need to select the range and then copy it. We can do that all in one go. So remove that select and replace that with copy. So we can delete that line of code. Likewise, you can do the same with the destination. You don't need to select the destination sheet or the range. So we can do that all in one line. So copy sheets destination dot prefix the range B3, and again we don't need to do the select. Now take that whole thing, including the dot, and replace the selection with a paste special. All right, and I'll go through this in a moment. Just let me copy that in. We no longer need to select the destination sheet. Paste values and number formats into B3 of the destination sheet. Then paste formats into B3 of the destination sheet, and the column width the same, B3 of the destination sheet. So this will no longer switch between sheets. It's just going to copy the range from source and paste it into the destination. So you could technically be on any sheet and run it, and it should still work the same. Come back to the destination, delete what we've already done. Right. Come back to the source here and run the macro. Done it 100 times, same result. It wasn't flickering because we had the screen updating equal to false, but it is not selecting between them. I'll remove that screen updating. So even without screen updating being disabled, it's not going to constantly switch between source and destination during that loop. Forgotten to remove this select on the source. In fact, you could even move clearing of the ants outside that loop. We can just do that. Running it again, delete these columns. All right. And this time we should see no flicker at all. There we have it. So this will help improve the efficiency of your code. You can even take this a step further, and rather than replicating this sheets destination.range b3 for each of the paste specials, we can use the with statement, with sheets destination range b3, bring down the dot paste special and remove it from the subsequent paste specials like that, and end with. So with cell B3 on the destination sheet, do the following: paste values and number formats, paste formats, and paste column width. And if you like, you can even bring these up to the previous line just to make your code a little bit more compact. And this will achieve the same result. Now you can take this a step further and use what is known as the code name of a worksheet instead of this traditional method of sheets and the sheet name in brackets, or you may have also seen it as worksheets. Now I do have another video called How to Reference Worksheets where I talk about the code name and the advantage of using it. And I think it's a good idea to get into the habit of using it early on. So please check that out. So essentially the code name of a worksheet is an alias that you can use in the code. And the good thing is that it's independent of the tab name. So if someone changes the tab name in Excel, it won't affect your code. Whereas if someone changes SRC to SOURCE, then this code will fail. Now to see the code name of the sheet, you go over to the left panel here. So we have here is source. The one in bracket is the tab name that you see in Excel. The name outside the bracket, so sheet 1 in this case, is the code name. Now you can modify this by going down to the bottom left where the properties panel is. If you don't have it, press F4 and it'll appear. Now the name here is the code name, so you can change this if you like. The default will be sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, and so on. And I usually change it to WS for worksheet and then an acronym for the sheet. So source, SRC in this case, and hit enter. Right, so as I said, the beauty of that is I can use that in the code. So instead of saying sheets and then source in quotes, I can go WS SRC. Someone changes the sheet name, it won't affect the code. So anywhere I have sheets and then SRC, I'm going to change to that. There are other advantages of it. I discussed them in my other video. We can do the same with a destination. So come over to the destination. I'm going to change this to WSDEST, hit enter. And wherever we've got sheets and then dest, I'm going to change it to WSDEST, right? And here we have it as well. If I left this and someone changed the tab name to destination, I'd have to come into here and change every occurrence to destination or the code would fail. If I use the code name, it will work regardless. Now, another way you can improve upon things is by not hard coding ranges and cell references, but that is a little more advanced. And I do have some videos on that called How to Reference Ranges, so please check that out. As you can imagine, it would be impossible for me to cover every single macro recorder scenario. So as I said at the start of the video, if you really want to improve your VBA, don't just record the macro, look at the code and try and understand what it's doing. And I think an important tool for helping you understand that is the VBA debugger. I do have a video on how to use a debugger. Please check that out. It lets you step through the code line by line, and while you're doing that, you can switch over to Excel and see what is happening. So it's quite useful. So let me give you a quick demonstration. I'll just delete the data so we can start again. Now, I don't need you to understand it completely. I'll just go through it really quickly. If you watch the other video, hopefully it'll explain it a bit more. So if I press F8, it's going to go line by line through the code. Right? F8 again, we're at the for loop, F8 again. So this line is going to copy that range on the source sheet. So if I press F8, go over to Excel, select the sheet, I can see the ants around that range. So I know it's done what I want. If the ants were only around, say, B3 to F10, then I know I've specified the wrong range and I can go and change that in the code. If we go back to the code, we're going to paste values and number format. So if I do F8 on that one, go over to Excel, we still have our source copied. The ants are still marching. Go over to destination, and it's pasted the values and number formats only. Back to VBA, F8 again, it's going to paste the formats. So now the column headers should have the right coloring and font. F8, go back to Excel, and there you can see what it's done. And again, back to here, F8 again, it's now going to do the column width. So F8, back to here, and you can see what it's done. Back to the editor, F8. It's going to select the source sheet. So F8, back to Excel, and you can see it's come back to the source sheet. We still have the ants. Come back to the macro, clear the ants. So F8, come back to Excel, and once again, we can see what it's done. F8 again, and it's just going to keep repeating. And to finish it, I can just press F5 and it will run right to the end. So that was a quick demonstration of the debugger. As I mentioned, a very good tool for learning. I highly recommend you learn to use it. So that wraps up the video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on future videos. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.